the USA, yeah, I'm trucking. Just about every day, yeah, I'm trucking. So what you got to say? I'd like to hear it today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to hear it today. Cookie John OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? From somewhere in the United States of America, it's Trucker John O.T.R. Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right. Every Tuesday, Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down. Hello, my name is John Fowler. Is there anybody out there? As you can see, I'm still setting up here. You can see me in the reflection. I am, so hopefully I'm not losing you. Just gonna send these out real quick that I have in the truck. Hey, Rose is here. Hello, Rose. Hello, Jolie. Good morning from Las Vegas, Nevada. Hi. Ooh, it's like magic. It's like I'm floating above Las Vegas. I'm like one of those Teletubbies looking down. Woo! Hello, Las Vegas. I'm Mr. Sunshine. Whee! Yes, I have special effects. In the old days, they'd call it superimposing. So anywho, let's see here. Just in that. I guess I should have done this a lot earlier, huh? Now I think tripod's a little crooked. But anyhow, I guess that's enough of that. Uh-oh. That's what I was afraid of. See, I had it set up really nice yesterday. And of course today, it's like an earthquake. Earthquake. Just pretend like there's an earthquake going on right now. Because I don't know what the heck just happened to this thing here. Oh, come on.
I don't know. Like I said, I had it working pretty good yesterday. Of course, today don't want to work. It doesn't want to work right. Hey, Wes, we're just having an earthquake right now in Las Vegas. This is an earthquake. Um, okay. Anywho, so here I am in Las Vegas. Uh, let's see here. Ta-da! I really wasn't in the sky. So I am here uh, in Vegas. Oh well, just having a little bit of breakfast. Um, Yesterday I had my truck in the shop, and they found all kinds of shit wrong with it. So I'm going to be in the shop again today, and probably tomorrow. Who knows? Who knows how long that damn thing is going to be in the shop? You know. But we'll get it back going. There's just a lot of little things going on with that truck. It's it's an old truck. I mean, it's 7 years old. In trucking, that's old, I guess. Um, but so a lot of little things going on in and out on it. But we'll get it. Yeah, hopefully it'll get fixed. I got to do 90-day inspection. So every 90 days I got to get it inspected. And every 90 days it's like, what are they going to find now? You know. But anyhow, today we're still hopeful. I was trying to check out the Nevada results. I guess they're still counting, and it's kind of scary because it's so close. It's so close, between Democrat and Republican. It just shouldn't be that close. I don't know. It really shouldn't be that close. I don't think, but it's always a nail biter. It's like we are really a 50-50 country. It seems like we really are. Just about half. I mean, as far as these results, it's really so close, and I know that they know how many registered Democrats there are, and they know how many registered Republicans there are, and when you look at those numbers, I think it's at least 2-1 Democrat to Republican. So that's why it's frustrating to see it so close all the time. So I guess really what it comes down to are the independents and the uh, non-affiliated folks, that really can sway this thing. And the thing that really sways them, I think, is the propaganda, the right-wing propaganda. So um, that's what we need to, as we go on from these elections, that's what we need to really um, fight against, I guess, is that propaganda machine. We need to call out, hey, Kenneth Otto's in the house. Just looking here real quick. I see Wes is here. Thanks, Wes, for being here. Kenneth Otto's here. Hi, Ken. I know Rose is here, and Jolie. Um, thanks for everybody for being here. Make sure you hit a thumbs up, and I know you guys all subscribe, but I just like to say it anyhow. Hit the subscribe button and hit that share button, because once you like, and you share, and you subscribe, what else is left to do? Share, share and share alike. I always like to say. So yeah, where was I? Okay, so what can we do as a Democrat? I'm a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, my whole life. So what can we do? I guess I'm just talking to Democrats right now. I don't mean to exclude the Republicans or the Independents. But I think that as Democrats, what can we do to, because it does seem like to me, from my point of view, a real uphill battle as far as combating the huge right-wing propaganda machine, which is basically, Fox News and others like that. Because now they got OAN and they've got, was it Newsmax and all these places, and then of course on the radio side, it's all right-wing. Okay. So I'm having breakfast right now. For you folks that are in the Central and Eastern time zones, you should have lunch. We can have lunch. But anyhow, well, I'm quite I'm in a hotel room, and I don't feel like, but can you hear me okay? I don't know if I disturbed my neighbors here or not, but, so maybe I'm being too low key. Hey, Stephanie. Stephanie's in the house. Should I project a little bit more? I guess I was keeping it down because like I said, I'm in a hotel and I just feel like yesterday when I did a quick little 30-minute test run to test out this setup. The phone rang for some reason, but then I picked it up. There was no answer, so I don't know what that was about. And then just now, something just kicked on. I don't know if you can hear the AC. Hopefully that's not too loud. Okay. Hey, Jolie. So what did you get? This were you not getting it? Was it not coming through? I don't know. Hopefully it was all coming through. Okay, so anyhow, this is where I'm at. I'm at the Stratosphere Hotel, in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and you can see me, my little reflection. But so anyhow, I'm just kicking back, having breakfast. If I sit back here, I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, so I guess I have to sit up. But yeah, so what are we going to do? We need to. So what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, I'm a Democrat. So I see it one way, I guess, and other people see it other ways. But I guess every time I hear, a Matt Getz or an MTG or any of those assholes get on the news or get on social media and start with their bullshit, start with their lies, I'm just going to call them out every single time. We can't let it slide. We can't let their bullshit slide. The same with Fox News, whatever. We just got to call them out every single time and just post. I'm just going to post. I'm going to fact check. I'm going to fact check those motherfuckers, and I'm going to post it every single goddamn time. Every lie, every spin, everything that they do. I'm just going to call them out forever and ever. I'm trying to eat this so that I can get done with it. And I feel like I should turn the camera around so you guys don't have to see me eating. And I know I should have eaten an hour ago. But anyhow, so you can Kid Dollar says, "Welcome to Lost Wages. Don't gamble." It's funny. I almost never gamble. You know, I've been living here for, well, see, I don't really live here. I mean, I live here, but this is like my home base. And like I said, I'm here about a couple days, about every 6 weeks, 2 months. And I just get a hotel room, and I get them for cheap deals. I get really good deals. And I almost never gamble. I was wondering, because I just was wondering, you know, like I lived in California, and I come to Vegas a lot, all the time. You know, not all the time, but you know, since it's so close, you know, you come here a lot over the years, right? But I've never been a real big gambler. But I like to, you know, play blackjack. Blackjack is kind of the thing I like the most. But I was wondering when I set up here, you know, like 3 years ago, I guess. I was wondering, you know, what was going to happen as far as like gambling, and it's like I don't even think about it. I come here, I stay here, and I don't even think about it. I can't remember the last time I did any gambling. I guess when my son had his wedding here in September, we did a little bit of gambling. My son did some gambling. I did a little bit, not very much, and I actually won some money. I mean, not much. I think I walked out. To me, winning is just, you know, walking away ahead. I think I was ahead like $50 or something. So anyhow, yeah, I don't really gamble, but you know, every now and then I like to play some blackjack. I don't like slot machines. I don't like. Really, I don't like almost anything except for blackjack. It's kind of weird. Maybe some poker. You know, I'll play a little some poker. Now, poker, well, if it's regular like 5 card poker, then I'll probably play on a machine. Some of those other games, you know, there's a lot of like Texas Hold'em. They have I'll play live on a table. Blackjack, I like to play live on a table, but I'll sometimes find some good machines. There's some kind of cool machines that they have. So the Dark Webster is in the house. It's really glass. But anyhow, so yeah, for me, gambling's not really a problem. Like I say, I almost never gamble. It's like it's not even really a thought. You know? Hey, you're in the West. How's it going? Good to see you. You guys get to watch me eat stuff and drink. See what I did there? On my mail-in ballot, this is the sticker, and it's a round sticker, and I thought that would be perfect. Fits perfectly on my mug. And then when I went and dropped off the ballot, then they were handing these out. I got another one of these. So I got this one, and I got this one. And I could say I'm proud that I voted. I made an effort to get here, and I got here. I got here on time. I got my vote in. And now we'll just see what happens. We're still waiting to see the results. They're still counting. It's like neck and neck, and that's what's kind of nerve-wracking. I mean, it's so close, so close. But hopefully, Mastos-Cortez. I always have trouble with her name. Mastos-Cortez. Catherine Mastos-Cortez. I'm hoping she wins. Fingers crossed. But right now, it's like neck and neck, man. So hope she wins. But like I was saying, I think we should all call out. I mean, everyone. It's not just Democrats. I mean, it's not just Republicans. I guess if a Democrat is lying, and we can call him or her, call them out too. But you just fact check. But I bet you over time, you will find that the ratio of Republicans to Democrats that you're going to be calling out is probably going to be like 9-1 Republicans to Democrats as far as calling them on their bullshit. Now I know. I mean, people say, "How do you tell a politician is lying? Their lips are moving," and I mean, you could say a Democrat is I don't know. I've heard people, my right wing friends will say they always go to like Bill Clinton or something, because he lied about Monica Lewinsky or something. Okay, I'll give you that one. The guy didn't want to talk about getting a blowjob. Okay, I think that's a little bit different than claiming that Joe Biden is responsible for the high gas prices. Or claiming that Democrats, are ruining the economy when we're having really a great economy. Our inflation is high. There are reasons for that, and it really isn't because of the Democrats. It's because of COVID, and it's because of Russia. It's because of supply chain issues, and it's because of price gouging by multi-billion-dollar companies and things like that. So those really aren't. And the Democrats, they try to legislate that. They try to get windfall tax implemented. They try to get these things implemented, and then the Republicans just block it. So they will bitch and bitch and bitch, but then when there's a solution given to them, they reject it. And why do they reject it? Well, A, because their corporate overlords don't want that. And B, because they don't want the Democrats getting credit for anything. So even if it benefits the country, they don't want it to be seen as the Democrats doing a good job. So they put party over people. They put their party over the good of the country. So that's what we need to keep calling them on, relentlessly. Just keep calling them on. Don't let them get away with it. We got to break through this propaganda machine somehow. And the way we can do that is one person at a time. It's me. It's you guys. It's House Sparks. It's Liberal Dan. It's Midas Touch. Whatever. All of us working together to defeat the propaganda and cut through that bullshit. Because MSNBC isn't doing it. In fact, they're getting. I don't really watch. Sad thing, I don't really watch TV. I see clips here and there. I'm not like I'm not like a regular person. I used to be, so I know that what it's like to have a regular job, be home. Is this crooked? Looks like it's getting crooked. To be home and you have a schedule, and you have a TV, and you can sit and you can watch MSNBC, or you can watch your TV programs or whatever. For the last 12, 13 years, I've not been that person. I've been a person in a truck on a road. I've been living truck life for 13 years. So everything I get is off of through the internet, through Wi-Fi, and through streaming services, and through watching clips and things. So I mean, I have DirecTV on my deal, so I can get DirecTV. I can watch, and occasionally I will watch the news on there. I mean, I do have places on it that have really gotten great over the years. And when I first started driving, there was like nothing. I mean, you had to bring a little TV and that played VHS tapes if you wanted to watch a movie. That's now I've got right here on this iPad. I've got Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, you name it. Even more than that. Plus, I have DirecTV, so it's really great now. It's really great as far as being able to watch, whatever I want to watch. I can watch TV shows. I can watch movies. I can watch news. I can watch sports. So that has evolved. Technology has evolved. So I guess I can be a little bit more, normal or regular in terms of being able to watch stuff. But I really don't watch MSNBC anymore. I occasionally, like there was what's his name, Lawrence, right? Lawrence, and then of course Rachel, and I'd watch them every now and then. But I can't. I could probably count on one hand how many times I watch their show in a year. Because usually what I do is I drive, I drive all day, and then at the end of the day I park, and I'm tired, I want to relax, and I usually just play a game, and I usually just go through their social medias and see the notifications on there, and then it's time to go to bed. And I guess the point I was trying to make is that we got to cut through this both sides do it bullshit. They're not both the same. These two parties, the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, are not the same. And we need to just keep pointing that out. How one party that starts with an R is really just they really are just operating for multi-billionaire corporations. That really is their main goal. Is just to appease them and work for them. They're not working for you. They're not working for me. Okay? And everything else is just a distraction, or it's just a way of trying to pander to certain groups to raise all these fears or whatever to get them to vote for it. It's all based on fear because they know there's not enough billionaires to elect them, so they have to go to the masses, and they just have to infect them with all that propaganda. That's what they do in order to get votes, and that's why we see all these close elections when clearly, I mean, you have really right-wing nut jobs like Herschel Walker. There's no reason why Herschel Walker should be in a runoff with Warnock, right? Raphael Warnock. But there was a bright side, the people in Pennsylvania, they saw through Oz's bullshit, apparently. They elected Fetterman, and so that was an encouraging thing. So we did have encouraging things, and we did do pretty well, actually. I mean, when you look at historically, the incumbent president, first midterm, they're supposed to lose all. They're supposed to lose big, right? The minority party is supposed to take over and win. Right now, we're seeing it's like we're still like right at 50-50 basically. And we don't really, as far as I know, we don't know yet. Um, we don't know where these majorities are going to be. I mean, they're saying it looks like the Republicans are going to get the House, but we still don't know. I don't think that's been confirmed yet. And the Senate is still up for grabs. So, okay, I'm just looking at the chat. I don't know. I may have missed something here. I don't know. Hey, Jolie says we got the 400. All right, awesome. 400 subs. Thank you guys so much. That is so awesome. To get the 400. Now let's get the 500, and then 500. That's halfway to 1,000. So let's keep it going. That's awesome. I don't know. Just trying to see was Andrea on here because Kenneth was saying something about Andrea. I didn't see that she was in here. So I wasn't watching the chat, and so I don't know what you guys were referring to. But yeah, we got 400 subs, so that is awesome. Andrea has issued comments about her voice, but because she's got some health issue going on. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's best for her. And then. Yeah, we always hope for the best for everybody. Liberal Dan, hey, Liberal Dan is in the house. Glad to see you. Glad to see you check in. In case you didn't see earlier, I'm in Vegas today. Been here for a couple days actually, and staying at the Strat. And so yeah, I'm just here at the good old Strat. I stay here a lot. In the past few years, I've probably stayed here 100 times. I guess, no, maybe not 100, but I wonder how many times I have stayed here. It's been a few dozen times, I bet. I know I was just talking about gambling, and I really don't gamble that much, but my favorite game is blackjack. So and yeah, and I was playing the Texas Hold'em. Uh, but I haven't played in a while. I just come here. I get cheap room rates. You know. But I'm just here. I got here. I voted, as you can see. We're still trying to see if Catherine Mastos-Cortez won or not. Last I checked, it was just too close to call. And I'm putting up the clarion call, I guess, to Liberal Dan and to me and to everyone who's listening um, to cut through the bullshit, to cut through the right wing bullshit, the right wing propaganda bullshit, and to call them on every time they lie. We need to all through whatever means we have, whether it's YouTube or Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think we could, if we flood those social media platforms with our, um, just pointing out that, hey, this is bullshit. What you just said here is bullshit. What you, Matt Getz, just said, that's bullshit. What you, MTG, just said, that's bullshit. We need to just blast them. with fact checking and calling them. And all of us. That's really I think what we all need to do. And that's my kind of mission to do. So I guess you're gonna see me just on social media, just fact checking and calling out the bullshit every single time I see it. I'm not gonna let it slide. I'm not gonna let it pass. You know. So that's, I guess, the challenge I have for everyone. You know. So anyhow, we got Ken Donald said he missed. He's talking to Liberty Dan, missed the show the other night. Well, it was on last night, right? I was watching the show last night, but I was in the shop, so I was kind of in and out of the show. That's why there was a break. I came back and your show was in a break, and I saw everyone still chatting, but it just had the like title card thing, and I was like, and I didn't hear any volume, and that's why I thought, is the show over? Because sometimes the show's over and people stay in and they chat. But then it came on and I was able to listen to some of it. Just know that probably whenever you see me, if you see me in a chat room during the day, usually, I know Liberal Dan was at nighttime, but usually I am in my truck driving. So I'm just playing the shows and I listen to it through my Bluetooth speaker. It's a Bose speaker, so it's pretty nice, and it's loud, so I can hear it over the engine and everything. And so I'm usually just listening to the show, and if sometimes I can get some chats in there, and that's usually because I'm on a break. I'm stopped. I'm parked somewhere. But is Benny Loco in the house? I didn't see her in there, but if you're in there, oh, there she is. Hey, Benny Loco, glad to see you. Thanks for coming by. You missed the beginning of the show where people got to actually watch me stuff food in my mouth. That was like you missed the best part of the show. That was like worth the price of admission right there. I got you. I bet you. I got you. I bet you. By golly. But so anyhow, that part of the show is over. But usually, so what? If just know that when you're doing your oh, you've been lurking. You're a lurker. So you didn't miss out on that. That was the good part, the fun part. So just know that when you guys are your shows are running, I'm probably in there. I'm probably lurking too, but I'm driving. I'm lurking while driving. But I'm there. I'm there. Spirit and in ear. I'm in ear, because I can hear you. But so WW says, I think that Democrats in Illinois must be different. They are far from a perfect organization with, affiliations. Not that the Republicans do not have them. So, I'm not saying that the this thing keeps moving. I'm not saying Democrats are perfect. I'm not saying the Democratic Party is perfect. It's not. It's not perfect. But I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're not. Oh yeah, the earthquake. We had an earthquake. Might have another one here in a minute. This thing keeps tilting. But what was I saying? No, I was saying something about. Oh yeah, we're not perfect. So. Why was it working perfectly yesterday? I don't know. I know Wes was on, and a couple people were on. It didn't move once, right? I mean, I had it set up, and it was perfect, and and I'm not perfect. Yeah, my camera's not perfect. Oh boy, it was. Why is it doing this today? Why? Why are you doing this? I know this must be horrible to watch right now. Sorry for all the shakiness. But it was perfectly set up yesterday, and now today it's just horrible. I might just have to hold it. I might just hold it. See, I got my little backdrop there. But anyhow, I'm just gonna hold the damn thing. Wow, I had it on this tripod, and it's not really like I said yesterday. It's not made to hold a an iPad. It's made mainly for phones, but that's why I did a sort of a test run yesterday because I wanted to see if it would work, and today it's not holding it correctly. Okay, I'll try it again. If it falls again, then sorry. I don't know if you're watching it and it just looks ridiculous, but anyhow. Okay, don't touch it. Don't touch it, John. Don't touch it. Anyhow. Okay. Okay, hopefully I'll try not to slam my coffee down too much. Maybe that did it. I don't know. But yeah, we're not perfect. There's lots of things that need to be changed about it. But it's like it's incremental, right? It's an incremental thing, and I think the party is getting more progressive, which I think is a good thing, or at least what I consider progressive. I mean, some people like to say, like my kind of like my right wing nut job brothers and sisters that I haven't talked to in like 5 years. So because ever since Trump got elected, because they elected to do that. I didn't decide to not talk to them. They're the ones that didn't talk to me. But anyhow, when I used to talk to them, and we'd have conversations, and if I said something like, I'm a progressive or something, then they would bring up some shit from like 1908. Did you know that the progressives, they were like for, you know, I don't know, doing experiments on black women or something. I'm like, I don't know. I don't give a fuck about 1908. I don't know nothing about 1908. I'm old, but I ain't that old. Come on. Okay, so I mean, to me, when I think of progressivism, I just think of like Medicare for all. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking about some weird ass shit from over 100 years ago or from Europe. Europe, I don't give a fuck about Europe as far as like these labels of socialism and communism. That's all fucking European shit. We don't do that shit here. We do what we do, okay? We're a hybrid. We are really like a hybrid. We have capitalism and we have social programs. I don't know if that makes us socialist. We're not socialists, but we have social programs. We have government programs. We have government and with private enterprise combinations. We have capitalism. We have people that can go out and make profits. We have all that shit, and it's good, and I love it. I think we should have all of that. It's just that some people think we should only have, I don't know, only capitalism and not have any type of social safety nets or any type of government programs, and everything should be private. And I'm not for that. I'm all for, I think there's a place for government, there's a place for private business, and there's a place for social programs, and there are just things that make sense. So so I don't know if that makes me a progressive or not. That's why when people say, "What are you?" Well, I'm just a truck driver. I mean, I don't really like the labels because they're so fucked up, and they're so misused and bastardized and used as and weaponized, right? So, but when I think of being a progressive, I just think of getting some good common sense shit enacted that we need to get enacted, right? Uh, like Medicare for all, like I think a higher minimum wage. I think, you know, I think of. I'm almost hesitant to say the Green New Deal, but I'm all for combating global warming and climate change. I'm all for instituting or, bringing on green renewable energies and getting us off of fossil fuels. I'm all for that. Does that mean I'm a progressive? Does that just mean I'm a liberal? Or does that just mean I'm a common sense person? You know, that's just common sense. That I'm not advocating for, for big oil. I don't work for big oil, so I don't have to say like, oh, this is a attack on oil. I remember seeing like I don't know 10 years ago or so when I don't know some guy, it was some congressperson or a legislator from Texas, from Houston, Texas, and Houston, Texas is right by all of the refineries, right, in the Gulf, and they're huge down there, and they're hugely. I'm sure that this particular person was hugely on their payroll, or at least um, heavily financed, campaign financed, right, by them. And this guy was literally for real, crying, had tears on the in the chambers there. I forget. I think it was a House guy, and it was about some bill they were trying to put up that would. It might have been raising fuel mileage standards or something like that. I don't know what it was. It was just something that, just something that apparently the big oil didn't want. And this guy was literally crying, tears, saying about how this is destroying the fossil fuel industry or whatever. I was like, oh my God. You're crying for those motherfuckers? And even then, they were making billions of dollars quarterly. This is like 10 years ago. And they're making even more now. But basically, he was crying because that was that was who was buttering his bread, I guess. So anyhow. Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat, talking about Bo Burt. See, that's the thing too, man. I was so kind of bummed out too because last night, before I went to bed, I think I saw like certain people were leading. It looked like a lot of Democrats were leading pretty big, and then you wake up in the morning and it's like they're down by 2 points or something. You know, it's such pins and needles right now. So I need to reduce my anxiety levels by just saying, okay, look, I know we won some good elections across the country, and no matter how this turns out, I think it's still going to be we're still going to be pretty much a 50-50 in a 50-50 type situation, and I think we can. I think we can still ride this into 2024. Uh, and we'll make up. I think we'll make up gains in 2024. And I just saw this table vibrate a little bit when I picked my coffee up, and I was afraid that this iPad was gonna drop again, but it didn't. That was some anxiety that just sort of spiked up in me. Um, but anyhow, and I think all of us we need to. I know I'm speaking broadly and generally, but let's not get such anxiety to the point where we're like, going crazy or whatever. I mean, uh, and realize that there's only so much you can do, and that's why I was saying earlier that, okay, because I'm thinking like, okay, I'm one person. There are things that happen that I have no control over. I can't, um, you know, I can't just change. I can't just say, gee, I want, um, you know, I want Warnock to win. Boom! I can't just snap my fingers and make it happen. I want a majority in the House and I want a majority in the Senate. Boom! I can't just snap my fingers and make it happen, right? And when those things don't happen, I can't get myself so worked up that I'm gonna be almost, worthless. So what can I do? So I thought, well, what I can do is I can get on here, I can get on all my social media and just like I said, just call the bullshit. And that's what we all can do. We can just call out the bullshit. And voting, of course, obviously. And so in the meantime, between these elections, um, you just go about your life. You just do the best you can, and we all have our own talents. We all have our own abilities. We all have our own niches. We all have our own, areas of expertise or whatever. We all have our own thing, and we can go down those avenues and just do just one little thing, one little whatever it is, and we can just increase awareness. Being woke is not a bad thing. I know that the right likes to make that a pejorative because they know that being woke, being aware, having awareness, having new awareness, knowing what's going on, which is truly going on, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to know what's going on. So they know that being woke is guys. They want to present that as being a bad thing because they don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to know the truth. They want you to just believe their bullshit, right? So I say, let's just get woke as fuck and spread the wokeness. That's gonna be another sign that I'm gonna make. Spread the wokeness. The opposite of woke is asleep, Benny Loco says. I am wide awake. That's right. Be wide awake. And don't let those fools on the right try to make you feel bad because you're woke, or because you're aware, or because you're knowledgeable. That's a good thing. Let's get knowledgeable. See, it doesn't quite have the ring as being woke, right? Let's be knowledgeable. But maybe I'll coin that phrase. Hey, everybody, let's be knowledgeable. From Trucker John. Trucker John says, let's be knowledgeable. See, it doesn't quite. It's hard to say. Woke is easy. Let's get woke. Let's get woke as fuck, and let's spread the wokeness. Okay. So. Yeah, I know, and they'd like to say like the highway system was socialism. I don't see that as socialism. I see that as governing. I see that as the government doing good shit for the country and for the people and for commerce, for interstate commerce, right? And for defense, all that. That's governing. And I don't see that as socialism, but just because it was a government finance program, that was putting our tax dollars to good use. But I mean, I can understand, people are trying to fight back against being called socialist. And oops, see, vibrated again. I just see it as governing and doing. That's what the government is supposed to do. It's supposed to build infrastructure. Okay, government. Is one of the main functions of the government is infrastructure. Otherwise, you just live in a fucking shithole, right? Those shitholes that Donald Trump talked about. We don't want to live in a shithole, do we? We don't want. Why be in the richest country in the world with the richest economy in the history of economies and live in little shitholes. So infrastructure should be that should be universal. That should be nonpartisan. That shouldn't even be a right or a left thing. That should not even be a label like socialism or whatever. Of course, now the right wingers they want to make it all private, but these projects get done by private companies. They bid on them, so it's a private-public partnership. You know, so it's good for the private companies. They like that shit. What you got to watch out for is sort of like sweetheart bids and somebody getting paid off to get to an award a bid to somebody. That kind of shit. That's the kind of corruption and shit I guess you got to watch out for. But just overall, in overall generality, infrastructure is good, and that's what we need. That's what our tax dollars should be going to. Not just that. I mean, of course, we have a whole lot of things it goes to, should be going to. A lot of it should be safety, social safety nets, like, like welfare, like getting people food and shelter and clothing, and helping people with, I think, finding jobs and getting educated. That should all be part of our social safety net, right? But so that's another thing. These Democrats, like if Catherine Mastos-Cortez wins, and I hope she does, then my plea to her, and I'm a Nevada resident now, is okay. Now do something, because I have hardly heard of her. That's been sort of the main complaint against her. Is she's been in office for 6 years, one term, and what has she done? And I know, I don't mean to. This probably sounds bad, but I'm not trying to bash her. But I'm just saying, okay, now if we elected you, we voted for you. Now go and do something that will make us want to vote for you again. And that goes for all the Democrats, not just Cortez Mastos. It goes for all of them. That goes for Joe Biden, all the way down. Now go out and do something that will make us want to vote for you in 2024 and beyond. Don't sit on your laurels, or don't overthink it. What do we? You know what we want. We want equality. We want equal rights and civil rights, and we want health care, and we do want green new energies. We do want to get off of fossil fuels, and I know Joe Biden is doing that. He's getting us off those things. He's put timelines and by the end of the decade doing this, and by 2035 doing that. He's doing that, but we need to just give Democrats and independents and whoever else, and maybe some Republicans that want to come over, give them a reason to vote for you by enacting good shit. And if the Republicans keep blocking it, then we need to all, from the White House on down to Trucker John, we need to blow that up and say, look, these Republicans are blocking this shit. They're the ones that are stopping us from progressing. They're the ones that are stopping us from being able to make true, meaningful progress, and to make this country the best that it can be. It's the Republicans that block it. And then when something does get passed and they go back and it seems to be popular, then they want to take credit for it and they'll say they voted for it. We need to point that shit out too. We need to just laser focus on that, whoever's doing that, and say, look, you didn't vote for it. You fucking voted against it, asshole. And we need to make everyone in that state know that that senator, or if it's a district, to that House representative, everyone in that district know that that motherfucker voted against it. This thing that you're so happy about, the people, you're so happy about it, and your representative is trying to act like they voted for it, we need to point that out. We need to call them out. put the spotlight on them and say, no, this asshole voted against it. Why are you voting for this guy? Why are you re-electing this guy? I say guy, you know what I mean. This person. Why keep electing this person? So that's the kind of shit we need to do. And that's kind of like, that's my, I guess that's how I'm dealing with, like, what can I do? What can I do to cut through the propaganda, cut through the bullshit? I guess all I can do is just call people out. Call them out through whatever social platforms I have. And just through talking to people in truck stops or whatever, And that's what we all need to do. And we can do it civilly, non-combatively, just talk. Just talk. Just have a conversation. It doesn't have to be menacing or threatening or anything like that. You just talk. And if you're talking like on social media, it's different because we're not right in the same room. But if you're actually having a conversation with someone, things can get depending on who you're talking to. You just don't know. But then if it looks like it's getting contentious, then you just stop. You just walk away or whatever. Or you just sort of read the room, right? Sometimes you don't say anything. You don't want to be confrontational. Well, that's fine too. I don't like to always be confrontational. I don't want to be confrontational. Sometimes it just happens. But that's why it's great that we have these other social media platforms that we can use those. We can utilize those too. So whatever you got at your disposal, we need to call out the bullshit. I guess that's the sort of the main theme of this show today, is going on from here, living our lives, doing the best we can, knowing that we did the best we could, and if we maybe didn't do the best we could, that we still have tomorrow to improve. We can keep improving, but just know that there's only so much you can do. I mean, it's like I said, you can't just snap your fingers and make things happen, but you can call out the bullshit, make people aware, and that's kind of, I guess, my goal. To just get out the truth, we don't individually, obviously, we don't have the money that the big corporations have, the big news media has, the big propaganda machines have, but we do have numbers and people. It's the same way with whether you vote, whether you boycott something. I'm not going to stand toe to toe with big pharma or big oil, money wise. And that's what the 99% the movement was about, and the Occupy Wall Street was, at least as far as I'm concerned, was that we have the numbers and the people. We might not have the numbers individually in money, but in people we have the numbers. And if we ever come together in one thought, in one focused area, then you guys are screwed. Because we could shut you down we could shut you down like that. I remember I was snapping my fingers earlier about changing things. Well, we could if we were all on the same page, right? If we all just and you can do it peacefully. I've been saying this forever. You don't need weapons. You don't need anything. You don't need to burn things down. You don't need to break windows. All you gotta do is sit your ass down and not do anything. I mean, you saw what COVID did to the economy. And from people quarantining and stuff like that. And there was still, I worked through the whole thing. There were still lots of people that worked, right? Just think if everybody just sat down and said, I'm not going shopping, I'm not buying gasoline, I'm not buying anything. I'm not going to work. I mean, just hypothetically, I know this is a hypothetical. This is what's called a hypothetical. I don't need to be given all these. But what about this and what about that? That's not how hypotheticals work. Okay, it's a hypothetical. What if 98% of the people just said, "Fuck it, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to work. I'm not buying anything. I'm just sitting down. I'm just plopping my ass down." The economy would shut down. It would shut down in almost immediately, and that would scare the fuck out of not only the politicians. It would scare the fuck out of the Wall Streeters. It would scare the fuck out of the CEOs and top executives of the companies. It would. We would see change very, very quickly. What are your demands, 98%? Okay, uh, here's our demands. We want you guys to pay higher taxes, and we want to pay lower taxes. You guys should be, the more you make, the more you should pay. The less you make, the less you should pay. That's one thing. You know? Yeah, we want higher wages. We want more jobs here. We want better educational opportunities. You know, whatever the thing is, we probably would get that shit, you know? Okay, it's a hypothetical. You know, it's just a hypothetical. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just saying that we have the power in the people, in the numbers. And if we come together and we can do it peacefully, that's my main point. We don't have to do anything that's not peaceful, because this is a consumer-driven economy in a consumer-driven country. So if we don't consume, then that's our power. Consumption is our power. So that's it. That's just the bottom line. Stop consuming for a second. But it has to be concerted. I'm talking about as far as making a point, or as far as like protesting. Like it would have to be something like all at once. You know, like where everyone did it all at once. You know, it's like a national strike, right? Well, but like I said, Jolie, it's a hypothetical. Because I know that there's all kinds of, you know, the herding cat thing, right? Um, but the thing is, we don't need 98% actually. I mean, if you got 33% or 40% or something of people to say just said fuck it, I'm not doing anything all at once in a concerted effort, and it was, you know, it had a meaning behind it. It had sort of a mission statement behind it. That would be enough probably to get things going. To get things, I mean, because just think all these protests that we see over the years. I mean, what's the percentage of people? That's probably not even a single percentage point, or it's a single digit or something. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the hypothetical was like getting that there are 98, 99% of us that we are basically, you know, below sort in terms of like income or whatever, probably below you know, $100,000 a year or whatever. I mean, I think 75% of the people make less than 75,000 or whatever it is. You know, that just in terms of income. I was just thinking of that, um, but as far as making, as far as like having like a national strike and shutting things down and actually getting the attention of these of Wall Street, because Wall Street is so influential on unfortunately, on our lawmakers. I mean, you wouldn't even need that 98% or 99%. You would only need, I think, 20%, 25%, or, you know, whatever, 30, 40%. That would really get their attention, you know. But anyhow, that's just the thing. The thing is that we do have things we can do. We can vote. and we can, and when we also vote when we make our purchases, right? There's another way of kind of voting. Um, and we can just call people out on the bullshit. Those are things we can do. Those are things that most people can do. I mean, not all of us can run for office. You know, not all of us can do, I don't know, big campaigns or whatever. But we can all. I think we can all, in some way, just bring the truth forward, bring the truth out, right? And that's what we should be doing. And we can do it one person at a time, one live stream at a time, one one tweet at a time, whatever. Right? Okay. Well, anyhow, I appreciate you guys being here. I think I'm got to get down to the shop and see how they're doing with the truck. Um, and I apologize. I was just gabbing away, and I didn't. It looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat, and I think it's great that you guys have really great conversations in there. Um, looks like Wes and Benny Loco kind of going at it. I know, but anyhow, I appreciate you guys being here. I guess we're up to 400 now, so that's great. And I got my car here. My car's here, so just drive. I just drive. But anyhow, so I'll read a couple of things here. See if I can catch up a little bit. So Benny Local says, John, I have been in this fight for 40 years, feeling pretty alone in my efforts. Nice to know people are seeing. I've been seeing. Well, you know what? Don't feel alone, Benny Local. We're here. I'm here. All these chatters are here. You know, Jolie, everybody. You know, we love you, and we're here for you. You know, and so I hope that the coming and chatting and meeting with some like-minded folks, and even some that might not be completely like-minded, but you could have a nice civil conversation. You know, maybe that helps in some little way. And you know, just know that you're not alone. You know, we're out there, and it does really suck sometimes. But when I feel like that, thank you, Aaron West. Says appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all you guys being here. But I was just reading chat. I got kind of distracted there, but you know, we're all in this together. And sometimes, okay, when I sometimes I feel that way too. I get I don't know if it's anxiety or whatever it is, right? And I feel like I don't know, like no one's listening, or nothing's ever going to get done, nothing's ever going to change, or it's just going to get worse. And but a lot of that stuff is just it's magnified through social media and through the media. You know, they put MTG out there and stuff because I don't know, she gets ratings, I guess, right? Or it's all about ratings. So you just gotta put that stuff away and just kind of concentrate on your little circle. Like, you know, sometimes you just got to bring it in to just your household, and just doing the whatever you need to do to make it right, and then you can expand out from there. But I mean, sometimes you just got to say, okay, you have to take a break from it. Just say, okay, fuck it, I'm not talking about politics. I'm not looking at that shit. I'm taking a little vacation from it for 3 days or a week or whatever. Sometimes you got to do that, and I do it. I highly suggest everyone. Sometimes you got to take a break, but that doesn't mean you totally check out or give up, right? Um, and then you gotta, but then you gotta realize, okay, you can't carry the whole weight of the world on your shoulders, right? And so it's like, it's almost like a whatever happens happens situation, but not. I'm not saying to just not do anything, but I'm just saying you just do what you can do. And if you feel like you need a break, you take a break. And sometimes you just unplug, or sometimes you find something else that can distract you from the other stuff, and you can just so if you need to take a break, do it. You know, and then also realize that you can't do everything. No one can do everything. You know, not even Joe Biden or whatever. Not even Donald Trump. He thinks he can do everything. You know. Anyhow, I think I'm doing the. Am I doing the Midwest goodbye? Because I should probably check out of here. I mean, not check out, but I mean check out there. Um, Thanks for putting up with the earthquakes and with the watching me stuff food in my mouth. Thanks for putting up with that. Um, and so Benny Loco says 14 years of being a happy place to go, all ruined by Donnie Deeds. Um, in Vegas, it's a cowboy goodbye. Uh, Look, sometimes my head, Benny Local, sometimes I feel like my head is going to explode because I go back. Like I think, what if Trump hadn't been elected? And then I think, well, what if W hadn't been elected, hadn't been appointed, right? What, where would we be? And then I think, well, what if fucking Reagan hadn't been elected? He shouldn't have been elected either. He was a piece of shit. And we had him and Bush Sr. for 12 years. Just think if we hadn't had those assholes, how much further along we would be. And then I go back to Nixon. Nixon was another asshole. And what if JFK hadn't been assassinated? I keep going. That's when I was born. So then I kind of stop there and I go, look, I can't go back before I was born and cry about that shit. And I really can't do anything about JFK being assassinated. I can't do anything about Richard Nixon being president for 2 fucking terms. I can't do anything about Ronald Reagan somehow assholes voting for him, Democrats even voting for him. I can't do anything about it, but because my head will start to explode. Like, just think where we would be if we had had good Democrats in there in all those times instead of these assholes. It's been just asshole after asshole after asshole of Republican. But these horrible, horrible people, right? And so I have to just tell myself, stop. Stop it! You're gonna fucking your head's going to literally explode. Literally explode. Okay, not literally, but I have to tell myself, stop doing that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. You can't. I can't change Nixon and Reagan and W and Trump. I can't. There's nothing I can do about that. All I can do about now is trying to make sure we don't get Trump or DeSantis or any asshole like that in the future. And all I can do is try to look at the future, try to keep what I think Democrats are definitely the lesser of two evils, if you want to go that route, definitely better than the alternative. Because basically all we have is 2 choices, Republican or Democrat. You might be able to sneak in an independent in there every now and then, but very, very rarely, right? So all I can do is move forward and just say, okay, look, past is past. Done. There's nothing I can do about it. All I can do about the past is try to learn from it. That's all the past really is about. And especially when we're talking about politics. I mean, it's nice to think about your family and you sentimentalize about that and have good memories with your family and friends. That's fine. That's one thing. But when we're talking about politics and other things, life in general, really, you can't change the past. All you can do is learn from it, try to do better, and that's all we can do. So from this day on, let's try to do better. Let's try to get better people in office. If you're one of those better people, then run for something if you can, you know. But support good candidates and just get the truth out and call people on their bullshit, call people on their lies. Now, before I go, I'll say one thing. My crazy cousin Danny sometimes comes on here. Danny Rock. He's my cousin. He's a right-wing nut job. The thing about him is, up until Trump, I think he was a liberal. I remember him taking my side against my brother and sister, and he would like back me up, right? Something happened to him when Trump got elected, or maybe up to the run-up to that, and he's like as right-wing nut jobby as my brother and sister are, you know, and so he if he watches this, then he might come on, and then what he'll do is he'll leave these giant fucking 1,000-word fucking essay or whatever, and I don't have time to cut through that bullshit. So I'm not going to be cutting through all his mumbo jumbo. I guess I'm just telling Danny right now, because if he sees this, then he's going to leave this big giant fucking word salad, messy bullshit that I'm supposed to decipher, and I'm supposed to break down point by point all of his fucking bullshit that he's just regurgitating from, you know, Levin and Michael Savage and fucking Alex Jones probably and all these assholes. I'm supposed to spend a portion of my life fucking itemizing point by point all of his fucking stupid bullshit. Okay, so in that case, I probably won't call out his bullshit because, quite frankly, who gives a fuck what he thinks? You know, it's not like he's on a national platform, right? So that's a disclaimer, I guess. I guess that was my disclaimer. I might not, when I talk about calling out the truth, you know, I'm not going to go through some fucking idiot manifesto that he likes to post, and then I'm supposed to fucking decipher that fucking thing. You know, no, no. Anyhow, all right. So Kenneth Otto says, John, watch Butterfly Effect. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I wasn't, you know, that's all theoretical. That's all. Those are all movies, and those are all things. But yeah, you like, and I'm sure there have been movies made. What didn't Stephen King do a show? I really did watch it. I did want, but I wanted to watch it. Wasn't it about like if Kennedy hadn't been assassinated? And then there's all these, you know, how it changed everything. And I never did see the show, but I think there've been plenty of things on Butterfly Effect and Domino Effect and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you change one thing, and you just don't know how, if it's going to change it for the better or for the worse. Or it might be different better things and different worse things and all these things or whatever. Yeah, I understand that, Ken. I understand that. And that's a good way, I guess it's a good way of shutting down the thought, saying, you know, stop fretting over it, because if you could end up with a worse situation. But I kind of doubt it, actually. I really do doubt it. If JFK hadn't been assassinated, or if RFK hadn't been assassinated, and he would have probably won in '68, I really don't think things would have been worse. I really, really don't. If Jimmy Carter hadn't lost, I really don't think we would be worse. But like I said, you just don't know, right? You just don't know. And it's kind of pointless, I guess, beating yourself up or going back and forth and having these sort of brain, you know, headaches or whatever, thinking about it. But yeah, that's a good point. You don't know. The one thing you change, you think would be better, actually, through the butterfly effect, ends up being worse. So we just go by today. We have today. Let's learn from our mistakes. Let's go on and try to be better human beings and better society, better people, right? So most of us will not read much more than a paragraph, says WW. Well, when it comes to like someone posting something, like on a post, like on a YouTube chat, which my cousin does, and he does these big. I didn't count the words, but it's like, you know, this huge thing, and it's like a word salad, right? I'm not going to read. I don't read much more than like the first few lines, maybe. It's just ridiculous. Before my brain injury, I read everything. Now I have a hard time getting through a paragraph. I've had 7 migraines in the last month. We're still lost. Ken Otto, would we have built Apollo rocket? Would USR be in charge now? Would anything, including yourself, exist? Those are the questions. That's the thing. That's what the butterfly, effect always ponders. Like, what would be the consequences? These unintended consequences. That's the riddle, I guess, right? Oh man, I was drinking coffee and it went down the wrong pipe or something, and I just see the ride up there. Well, woo. All right, so I could turn this around, maybe. Can you see the ride going? There's a ride going on right now up there. See how it dangles off to the side? Oh, off the side, and you just kind of hang there. Okay, so I think, therefore I am. No, I think that I'm going to play the music. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but all right, guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate you being here. It was a good time. I had a good time talking and chatting, and as always good to see you guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day from Las Vegas, Nevada. It is Nevada. Nevada, 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 Nevada. Okay? How many times I gotta say it? It's Nevada. Anyhow, thanks Penny Loco, thanks Wes, thanks Jolie for moderating and being here. Thanks Kenneth Otto, Aaron West, they call me Rose. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting anybody, leaving anybody out. Thank you all for being here. It's been a blast. Hopefully Tuesday the truck will be all good to go, and I'll be out back on the road somewhere Tuesday, and I'll be in the truck, hopefully on the road. I don't know. Who knows where I'll be. So from the Stratosphere Hotel Casino in fabulous Las Vegas, I will see you next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And I guess that's about it, guys. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Liberal Dan, yes, was in the house. Always appreciate Liberal Dan showing up. Yes, Dan does say it wrong. He was saying it last night. I was yelling at my speaker. You too, Ken. Be safe out there. Oh yeah, so keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. And the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see ya next Tuesday morning. Ciao.